Minnesota Vikings and new general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah have done a phenomenal job this offseason just vacuuming up, finding value all over the place. Zadarius Smith, as well as Harrison Phillips, Jordan Hicks, as well as Chris Reed and Jesse Davis, etc. I love it. I love it, man. Chandon Sullivan as well. But so the Vikings, they have around $12 million in cap space. About 5 to 6 need to go to the rookies as top 51 displacements. So they have a little bit of cheddar left to spend. And yes, you do need to carry some cap space into the season because, ish happens. But spending a little bit more. And Pro Football Focus went through their list of remaining free agents, and they went through best landing spots as well as other potential fits. And 2 of their top players fit with the Vikings? Question mark. At the top is JC Tretter. Fantastic center by the Cleveland Browns. Yes, there's some questions about his knees and ankles, but I mean, who among us in their 30s don't have questions about our knees and ankles? But he was a cap casualty by the Browns this offseason, and also he's NFLPA president. I assume he has to be on the team to maintain that presidency. I don't know if you can be a free agent president. Who really knows? But this is what they wrote up. Blah, 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 Browns, blah, blah, blah. From the Miami Dolphins or Minnesota Vikings, Tretter would represent a significant upgrade at the center position. Tretter's 83.7 pass blocking grade in 2021, his 7th straight season finishing above 80, was almost 80 points better than Miami centers for the season and over 40 points better than Minnesota's. Thanks. Cool. Well, he's not as prolific as a run blocker. He's proven to be an above-average run blocker in the outside zone rushing attack, which the Vikings obviously run, which both Miami and Minnesota are expected to utilize in 2022. Best landing spot, he says, the Dolphins. Okay. Other potential fits, the Broncos and the Vikings. Now, if he wants to chase that ring, he should go to the Broncos, but also the Vikings as well. I mean, look at the Broncos division, man. Why would you want to do that? Come to the NFC North. Baby come back, former greasy grimy Green Bay Packers center. Mama, I can change him. They projected 2 years, $12 million, $8.25 million guaranteed. They can add a void year in 2024 or whatever. They can spread that out. So yes, even though I do think that the Vikings potentially could replace Garrett Bradbury, whether in the draft or whether it's one of the free agents, that's fine. Maybe even Wyatt Davis takes some snaps. I don't know. Or Chris Reed, we predicted potentially could work at the pivot as well. But Tretter would be that guy. Plus, you'd obviously have to pass a physical before they officially signed him. So get him in, check it out. Tretter at the pivot, and probably Chris Reed at right guard. And then guess what? Offensive line, the need to draft offensive line so early in the draft, it's off the table. You can just go BPA. If it happens to be O-line, so be it. Go ahead. Next up. So also a fit for the Vikings was Akiem Hicks. Now, I understand. Health issues, age, that's why Hicks and Tretter are available for reasonable prices at this point. This is what I wrote. A few injuries over the past few years have kept the off-dominant Hicks, yes, we've seen that, mainly because of Garrett Bradbury, off the field, but he's still quite a handful for opposing offensive lines when healthy. As a run defender and a pass rusher, Hicks brings an extremely high floor. Over 6 seasons with the crooked Chicago Bears, he has earned both a run defense and pass rush grade of 65 or better in every year except an injury-plagued 2019 campaign. Hicks can reunite with edge defender Khalil Mack, head coach Brandon Staley, blah, 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 blah. So they said best landing spot Chargers, which I agree with. I mean, the Chargers may have the best defense in the NFL. Like, no cap. Brandon Staley's building a monster out there in L.A. Other potential fits, they listed the Vikings and the Steelers. And Hicks does have experience with Ed Donatel, even though Donatel was a DB coach in Chicago, as well as some other stuff with Vic Fangio. Plus, Mike Pettin spent last year as a senior defensive defensive consultant, whatever, advisor, a guy who's just there. And he worked with Akiem Hicks last season as well. And he would fit in with what they want to do with the multiple front. He could play some 3-tech. He could play some nose. He could play some 5-tech. Move them all along the defensive line. And guess what? The Vikings are extremely deep on the D-line. He doesn't have to put up 40, 50 snaps a game. That could keep him fresh. That could take some of those injury issues off the plate for him. So if he plays 25 snaps a game, and he just gets after it, he's going to be fresher late in games. He's going to be fresher late in the season. Plus, with the 17-game season now, that's extremely important. And into the playoffs and into the Super Bowl. So I would be okay with Akiem Hicks. 1 year, $6.5 million guaranteed is updated projection. So Hicks and Tretter, why not both? No. I would go after it. Where It's very possible. I mean, we're only a handful of days away from the draft, so it's extremely possible both these guys are out there chilling until after the draft when teams have filled out the roster. So these contract projections may be a little bit rosy, but I'm perfectly fine. Hey, JC Tretter, Akiem Hicks, you want to show up even after mandatory minicamp? You're veterans. You know what to do. You're going to be perfectly fine. Just walk into training camp on a minimal deal. You see the Vikings, what they want to do, a very winnable division, and they're going to go after the pin and go for that Jerome Barty this season. All in. Come on. You guys know the NFC North very well. Let's get after it. But your thoughts are thoughts. JC Tretter and Hicks perfect fits with the Vikings? Question mark? PFF thinks so. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.